Welcome to the Explainer. So, there's this force slowing down the entire global economy, but it's not a new policy, it's not a market crash, it's extreme heat. And it's creating this invisible drag that is already costing us, well, trillions.
Let's just start with a number. $1.09 trillion. That's the estimated value of productivity just gone because of extreme heat in a single year. It's a staggering cost, and one we don't often talk about.
So, how do you even get to a number that big? Well, it comes from this. An estimated 640 billion potential work hours just vanished in 2024 alone. I mean, they didn't disappear because of strikes or holidays. They disappeared because it was simply too hot for people to work safely or to work at all. And this quote, it just nails it, doesn't it? This isn't some far-off prediction. Calling it a stealth recession is perfect. It's this powerful economic force that's already here, working silently in the background, slowing everything down. All right, so let's really dig into how this stealth recession actually works. Where are all these costs coming from? And maybe most importantly, who's paying the highest price? So on average, heat is already shaving about 1% off global GDP every year. But, and this is the important part, look at the difference here. For low development economies, that number rockets up to a massive 6%. This is not a problem that's spread out evenly. It's like a huge tax on growth that falls hardest on the world's poorest nations. To really get why these economic numbers are so huge, we have to zoom way, way in. I mean, right down to what's happening inside our own bodies. Because this whole story, believe it or not, starts with biology. You've probably heard the term heat stress, right? But what does it actually mean? It's not just about feeling hot and sweaty. No, it's your body in crisis mode. It's literally forced to make a choice. Do I cool myself down or do I perform this task? And to cool down, it diverts blood away from your muscles and your brain. So you can't work as hard and you can't think as clearly. And you can see this play out in the real world. I mean, look at these numbers. This is what we mean by a cliff edge effect. At 90 degrees Fahrenheit, or about 32 Celsius, productivity for hard outdoor work drops by a quarter. But push that up just 10 more degrees to 100, and productivity doesn't just dip, it absolutely plummets by 70%. The work basically grinds to a halt. And look, this isn't just a problem for farmers or construction workers. Heat messes with our brains. Studies show students in hot dorm rooms do worse on tests, workplace accidents go up, even our basic everyday thinking and decision-making gets worse. Heat makes everyone less effective. Okay, so we see what heat does to the body. Now let's look at how that physical reality creates a deeply unfair economic one. If heat is a tax on productivity, who's really shouldering most of that burden? The data here is, it's crystal clear. Almost 80%. 80 of all the work hours lost to heat are in just two sectors, agriculture and construction. These are the physically demanding, often lower-wage jobs that literally build our cities and grow our food. This creates what you could call a cooling divide. For an office worker, right, a heat wave might just mean turning up the AC. But for a day laborer, it's an impossible choice. Do I risk my health working in dangerous conditions, or do I lose the income my family needs to survive? Faced with this reality, the world is racing to cool down. And this number, 5.6 billion, that's the projected number of air conditioners we're going to have in use globally by 2050. That's almost 3 times what we have today. And that huge shift sets the stage for what's coming next. Because all this massive, growing demand for cooling, it isn't just a challenge. It's actually creating a powerful new economic sector, an adaptation economy that's all about helping us live and work in a much hotter world. The chain reaction here is pretty simple, but the scale is just mind-boggling. As temperatures go up, the demand for cooling explodes, and that is set to triple the amount of energy we use just for cooling by the middle of the century. It's going to be one of the biggest drivers of energy consumption, period. And of course, where there's that much demand, there's a market, a big one. The climate adaptation market is already worth around $25 billion, and it's on track to more than double to over $50 billion by 2030. That is a massive growth industry born purely out of necessity. But here's the really important part. This is about so much more than just selling more air conditioners. That's the old way of thinking. The real opportunity, the real innovation, is happening in all these other areas, designing cooler cities, creating smarter workplaces, and even developing new ways to analyze and manage heat risk for businesses.
And that kind of brings us to the fundamental reality of the whole situation. Inaction is not a cost-free option. We are going to spend trillions of dollars because of heat. The only real question is how we're going to spend it. And this is the choice that businesses, governments, and really all of us are facing right now. Are we going to spend that money reactively, just cleaning up after disasters and absorbing the costs of lost work? Or are we going to spend it proactively, investing in the tech and the infrastructure we need to build a cooler, safer, and more productive world? The bill is coming due, one way or another.